Sorry. So our mission is to lower the barrier of access to education, resources, and connection for all types of entrepreneurs, new and aspiring. And I think our new cutoff is 5 years. Startups that are 5 years or younger. Overall, 1 Million Cups is 6 years old, represents 150 communities, an estimated 1,000 organizers, 12,000 entrepreneurs monthly are impacted. Our focus is presentations and not pitches, authentic connections, not networking, and we're for the community, by the community, and intentionally inclusive. This is our footprint in the Southeast region. This is our team. Again, our presentations focus on sharing challenges and milestones and crossroads that we all face as entrepreneurs to learn from each other. So no one pitches anything. And the goal is just to have people understand, empathize, and share insights to solve some of these challenges. And as I mentioned earlier, the companies are less than 5 years old, open to community engagement, and all applications, industries are welcome. So we encourage people, even if they don't think they're eligible, to apply, and then we'll let them know what their specific circumstances. This is our social media, and we will now hear.
I did it because I wanted to be able to create opportunities for others who, in certain fields, they're being blocked by other people because people are scared of, they may be competition or compete against their business. So they don't want to tell them how to do it. So what I do home health agencies, meaning that when I say I build them, meaning that the application, the business plan, the strategy, the budget, everything, your business meeting, everything that the state, the whole entire checklist that the state requires to have a home health agency or a group home. And I also have tools to do a pharmacy. So I do those things. And so I meet people and I talk to them, and I also train them on how to operate them. So I have a team of people that train for operations, how to build the insurance companies. So they're recession-proof businesses. And it's just a joy for me to do, because I like the response from the people when they get good feedback, when they're getting people and they're working and they no longer have to work for someone else and they can work for themselves. It gives me chills. I have a passion to help others. And then the consumers being involved in their lives, whether they got diabetes or whatever their problems may be. I know it's a lot of challenges for people who injured. They can't get out to bed. They need that help, someone to cook for them. So that's one of the reasons why I built it, created Life Changing Consultant, and that's what I love to do. I love to help and reach out to others and educate them, because I come from a humble background and a lot of people just don't have the information. They don't know. So I'm reaching back, helping them so they can run business and do it at a high level. And what do I need so I can compete against the top consultants in the country? It ain't but one or two of them that really big enough for me to even compete against. And so I was skeptical of opening the door because of certain reasons, but I need advice on how do I get investors to invest in what I'm talking about inside my company so I can grow the business and I can get more people, I can get more nurses to do. So if you don't have something right when you send it up to the state, they're going to ask you for to correct it. And so the nurses, RNs have the clinical experience to do it, but you also have to pay them to do those jobs. And different people like John, that's a speaker and he's good at marketing. He can, people like John just can come up and say, here's how you market, here's how you do digital, things like that. And so I want to involve quite a few people to grow the business, and I can compete at a high level across the country. We're not just talking Virginia, we're talking the entire country. with the exceptions of New York and Chicago. And I can always say why I won't do those if someone raised that question. I hope I summarized it, but if you guys need any more from me, I have a ton, but I have a short window, so that's what I have.
Well, looks like Roy's got his hand.
Hi, Roy.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I go too soon? My apologies, sir. I'm worried about to say something.
No, you didn't. Hi.
Oh, hey, how you doing? Thank you for that presentation. If I understand correctly, you also work with people that, or I guess, autism spectrums?
Well, I'm a person who builds businesses. I build the business for you. Say if you wanted a home care or a group home and you don't know about policies, procedures, and regulations, my company do the entire checklist when it comes to the paperwork, when it comes to a business plan. So the state is going to look at that business plan and they're going to read it. And if it's not matching up, making them see that you know what you're getting into and what kind of business this is, they'll just say, hey, you need a different business plan. They won't give you the information. They don't tell you you have to know. So if you get anything wrong on your application, no matter, they'll send that back and say, hey, you need to correct this. This is wrong. As far as your service areas, say if you don't have your service areas right and you have nothing, or if you just put down Richmond, that will be the only place you will be able to operate. So you have to give them the tools to understand that, hey, you want to put down all counties in the entire state so you can go ahead and operate in the entire state. It's just some things people just don't know. They just want a business because they want to move forward with financials. So they make business off of numbers. So I show you versus telling you. And then when people see, they see is well worth it, a great investment. It's just so people don't understand the clinical part of it. And that's where you need an RN, and then you'll need somebody like myself that's willing to share the information versus saying, oh, you're going to compete against me. No one can compete against you in that recession-proof business. The truth to be told, in the state of Virginia alone, every home health agency, it should be at least 1,200 people in each of them, every single one of them. And they ain't things I don't guess. If I don't know something, I just don't know. I just say, I don't know. That's the answer. So I don't assume you can't, because you can go wrong in this business. You actually have to have the facts right. So there are the facts, at least 1,200 people. And how many people you know in the entire state got even 80 people? It's not like they just don't do it. They get comfortable with, I'm cool with 50. I'm okay with that. But that's going to carry you a long way, because that's a lot of money for 50 people, especially if you're doing skill.
Thank you for answering. I used to work in the field, so thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, it looks like Dale has a question.
I think I just spoke with Dell. Was that Dell? Oh, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. Where's Dell?
Hey, I'm here, Keith. How's it going?
Hi, Dell. So you're Dell.
I'm Dale. That's right.
Phone all the time and tell me what I needed to do.
That's right.
Opportunity, but you were traveling, and I had some things I had to work. So
Yeah. No, we're good. It's all good. And thanks to John. Thanks for Ian for setting this up today. Thanks, Michael, for leading us in the discussion. And so I just had, I think you laid out nicely what you provide and who you're providing it for, which is awesome. I'm just trying to understand a little bit about the revenue side of your business. So can you talk a little bit, Keith, about who is it that pays you, where the funds come from for your business? Is it from the individual who's setting it up? Is it fee-based upfront? Is there a piece of this that is recurring revenue for you once they set up their business that you get a piece of their business, or how does that all work?
Okay, so it works like this. If you, let's say Dell, hypothetical, you say, I seen your website. I'd like to open up a home health agency. How can you help me? What would be the startup? Okay, I basically sit you down for a free consultation. I used to charge, I no longer charge for the consultations. So I'll explain to you what kind of business it is and how you get paid. Your business is going to be your business. I'm just going to do the paperwork for you. So you're going to agree on a contract, and we notarize it saying that you'll pay me this amount of money to get you the business, right? And then I'll tell you how much. Well, before you even do that, I'll show you. So people like when they can see it versus somebody just talking. When somebody's talking, they can pretty much make their mouth say anything they want. But when you show them the proof and say, look, this is the numbers, and here it's from here, and here's how you're going to get paid from Anthem, Aetna, Magellan, all the insurances in the company in the country, well, in the state that you're operating in, you're going to build that insurance company for that patient. So you're going to have an MPI number. So if you're a doctor, an MD, or a psychologist, and you went to school for 12 years or 8 years to be an MD, you're going to get a patient 1 hour and come in, you're going to prescribe their medication, and they don't want to leave. You building companies for people. They're going to send CNAs, caregivers, and nurses to the homes of the elderly and the injured, and you're going to get paid 8 hours. You're going to have to pay that person 8 hours a day, a regular 40-hour-a-week job. On the weekends, another 8. So you're going to have 2 people for 1 person. So they normally would give you 56 hours just for one person. So 8 times 7 is 56. So you got 8 hours a day for that person to help them, remind them to take medications, and you bill for that client. So you really don't need a loan, because you can get 1 client from social services, the Department of Health, and you send a CNA out to care for them. And that first week you can bill them, right? You'll get that money the second week, because you pay bi-weekly. The second week you bill them again. So it's time for that 1 person to get their check. You already got their check. Now, if you had 10 people, it would be the same. You bill every single week, and then you're able to pay those people bi-weekly.
And as the, just a quick follow-up, and then I'll stop. So, and I'm sure other people have questions. So as you as your client bills the health insurance company, they have that income for their business. But
yes.
do you get recurring revenue over time? Do you get paid monthly or quarterly from that client yourself?
No, only if you agree upon that. So if people, they're intelligent, so they're going to Google, they're going to research, they're going to see how much does it cost to build a home health agency. They're going to want to know those things. So for me to pay you, they're going to want to know those numbers. So if anyone get on their phone right now and just say, how much does it cost to build a home health agency, Google is going to shoot those numbers out. So the least amount of money will be $40,000, and the highest would be $300 and something thousand to even build one, because it's a multi-million-dollar business that you're giving the person, that you're building for. So if somebody said, okay, I'll give you $20,000, or I'll give you this, or can we do payment plans? Can I give you $10,000 or give you $5,000? It's up to me as the individual to say, okay, how much passion do they have in wanting to do it versus how badly they want the money. So I'll base it off of those situations, whether or not I'm going to do it for you at all, because you got to have some kind of passion towards what you're doing versus saying, I just want to make money. And that's fine when people make money, because people use their money to make money. So that's fine. So that's how it works. And if that's the case, as long as those caregivers are getting what they need, and I'm going to educate them on that. So they get all of the money. And if they say, oh, well, I can give you this percentage, and I can agree or disagree, saying, okay, you can give me all my money up front. I really don't have time. I don't want to really be a partner. Or you can say yes and be a partner throughout. As long as that
some of them you will stay on, and as the business continues, you don't just help with the setup, but you stay on.
Ongoing consulting fee. So it's ongoing. So they'll give me a consulting fee. I say, okay, maybe once a month you can pay me this, and I'll continue to consult with you. Some people is normally 6 months to a year. Some people take you on for a lot of other things just to educate them. But that's why if I had what I wanted, the way I would like to build it, they wouldn't need but 90 days, because I'll have a team of people. They can go to a boot camp, come to us, and we have a boot camp for them. So we can do it over Zoom, and then it'll be every day, and we'll give them 8 hours a day for 4 days. And then we'll take off 2 weeks, whatever. And then we'll keep setting up boot camp. We're going to educate them. We're going to give them things that's tangible so they can touch it and feel, so they won't have to remember. They can go through the pages and say, oh yeah, he said this and that, and they didn't write it down. They'll have that booklet we'll give them we'll set it up and make it really efficient so they can learn how to operate the business. That's the most important thing, operating and staying in compliance. So yes, an ongoing consulting fee will help the entire team because it may be you, hypothetical John, you're our marketing guy. So the guy, how do we push it out? How do we do this? So they're going to be talking to you. So you're going to get your expertise on marketing and what you think they should do to grow their business. Okay, I want to get it on you. Put it on billboards. Let everybody know what you have. So if you get a restaurant, you got to say what you sell out of. You need a menu. That's the same thing with a home care, home health agency, group home. You got to have a menu and say, what do you do? So we'll give them a menu so they'll know. And then we'll keep building people around the country just like that. But we can do it at a high level if I get a collective people, if I get enough people to finance it and tell them, hey, this is what you're going to be doing. This is what you will be doing. Everybody will have a position to play like a football team or a basketball team. Everybody have their position. You'll teach in the subject matter that you're educated in, and then we'll be teaching 100 people, 200 people at a time. And you can set a price and say for boot camp, 4 days, we're not responsible. Say right now in COVID, we're not going to have them group up like that, but we can do it over the Zoom or whatever, and they pay $1,000, 200 people at $1,000. And all the people that's teaching at that subject matter, they're getting paid just from that alone. And then the company, just being on it, just being there, understanding how to do it. I have it in my mind. It's great. But I hope I clarified it. If you have anything else further that I missed, and then let me know so I can give you more. I have tons of stuff for you.
Dr. Tan, did you have a question earlier?
So you recruit, yes, thank you. You recruit the CNAs, is that correct?
The CNAs, you can use different methods to, avenues and systems to get a CNA. You can go on to what's that site? What is it? Oh my goodness, I caught a brain freeze. There's a site you go on to Indeed, and you can hire.
No, I understand, but I'm saying that part of your business is to recruit CNAs. Is that right?
No,
you don't recruit any CNAs.
No, I educate you on a recruitment CNA for your business. If I build you a business that belongs to you, and you're going to be the one that's going to be operating it, and I'm going to be the one that's teaching you how to operate it.
Okay, so, and I speak from experience because it's hard to find qualified and reliable CNAs. So what type of advice do you give in terms of helping people recruit CNAs that are reliable and consistent? And because some businesses, you get so caught up in human resources, you even forget what your business is. You're too busy trying to manage people. So how do you approach that?
CNAs for me, sometimes it get difficult for people for different things that they do in their business. And CNAs is pretty easy because I know where they're at, where they're located. And also I have a friend that has a staffing agency. A staffing agency is, and you guys may be familiar, that staffing agency has nurses, CNAs, caregivers, trained professionals, reliable people, just on standby, waiting to get a job. Now that staffing person, if I didn't have a nurse and I needed to contract that nurse, or even if I wanted to hire, that staffing company would charge a little percentage just to get that person. You see, a small percentage, but the nurse will get a job also. If it's full-time, or if whether or not you wanted them for just to do assessments, or that you needed a nurse full-time. And so you will go through that staffing agency to require or to get what you need. So you're not going to go to Walmart. If you need a transmission put in, you're going to go to an auto mechanic shop. So it's the same thing when you need something, whether it's a CNA, nurse, these things are available here in every state. You just have to have.
Yeah, no, I realized. I was just wondering if there was specific advice you had or strategies or
I do.
methods to pick CNAs that are going to be more reliable so that you can focus on your core business.
I do.
Okay.
I'm a consultant, so I had to find different avenues and ways and people I can go to just in case I didn't know something. I don't know about a bunch of marketing. I had to come to John. Okay, John, you know marketing. So somebody that got a 60 to 100 staff, I mean, people that are CNAs and nurses, and then I plug myself into that. So there's a need for that in this business that I do. So I gotta have that avenue to be able to have those resources available for me when I need them or for when my client needs them.
Okay.
Okay, I see Roy has his hand raised.
Thank you. I've just been sitting here listening. I want to go back to the question that you originally shared. Can you all hear me?
I can.
Okay, sorry, my voice is, I'm still getting out sick, but I want to go back to the original question that you shared that you wanted help with, which was, you said, how do you get investors? One of the things that I would challenge you to think about so my background is in mass communications. I work at VCU, but then I also used to work in a group home, used to doing services while I was doing those kind of things. So I was both a CNA and I was also an EMT in the military. If you're thinking about how to get investors, I would challenge you to get very clear and very precise with exactly what you do. Because I'll be honest, I was sitting here listening and you're giving us answers like, I help the group such and such and such. And I'm trying to figure out what's the core thing that you do. And so if I was an investor, the one thing I would want to ask is, what is the one problem that you are solving? And only give it to me in one sentence. Do you have that answer ready? Because that will then help build the communication from someone trying to understand it. Because as a consultant, and I think that's what Dr. Time was getting to, was, are you recruiting CNAs? But then you went to, well, staffing agencies and then Walmart transmissions. As a communicator, you got to get rid of all that. And this is just encouragement, because those questions we're trying to pull out is understanding the mechanics of the business. And so the moment we can consume those, you're like, yes, either I go to a CNA, I want to help them start their own business. And so I'm listening. I'm like, okay, I used to work in this market. I know how it works from the state level. If your core answer is, I help people find, I help healthcare provider treat, I help families find healthcare providers to help their family. Like that to me is a one sentence, and I do it by helping those starting their own home care. Like 2 sentences, boom, I'm like, okay, I can rock with that. I used to work in it. So I'm trying to see how I can provide more experience and knowledge for you, but the tracking is just a little bit difficult. So that would be my encouragement.
Thank you. What's that, Roy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Roy. I appreciate that. And that's something that I'm gonna put inside my my memory bank so I can get better at that.
And
that.
to add to what Roy said, everything he said, I completely agree with. So thank you, Roy, for that. Sometimes having a visual, so like a chart, right, where you have all the different parts of your business, like, okay, this is the state, these are the doctors, this is the the nursing home or whatever and then you said, okay, this is my part of the business, is I focus on this. That would have at least helped me really understand in the first 30 seconds what you do, is just to see a picture of like all the different players in the industry and say, this is my lane right here.
Thank you. And I'm going to take everything you guys say and I'm implement it, because that's intelligent and that's something that I should do. But normally when I do a presentation, I have a binder, and I actually can go through it and show step by step. But just remembering, I got so much stuff in my head, But yes, I actually think that's a great idea, and I will implement that. The next time you guys get to talk to me, I'm going to be a little bit more sharper, and you guys will see that I implemented your advice. So thank you, Michael. Is that who you are?
Yes, yes. And we appreciate your passion. So that's the whole point of 1 Million Cups is we're all in it together as entrepreneurs. And so you have the passion and drive to make it happen. We're just trying to help you get there a little faster.
Oh, man, thank you. I get mushy. Don't make me cry, Dr. Michael. Thank you.
All right, so Dale, I know you've been waiting for quite some time, but would you like Sean to go first?
I'm going to jump in real quick, if that's okay, Ian and folks. Yeah, I was thinking about this a little bit, and I too think this is great, Keith, as I mentioned on the phone. And I think if I had to summarize what you do, and I would echo everything that Roy and Michael were just talking about with respect to the communications, right? So it's, what do you do? We help people build home healthcare businesses, right? That's what we do. And then there's a whole bunch of follow-up questions about, well, what problems do they have and how do you do that? And what do you do? And there's bullet points, right? There's regulatory obstacles, there's regulatory challenges, there's billing and procedures, there's policies, there's business model, the financial plan, and so forth. And that's your list of services, which is awesome. And I think the communication of that is important. And so recommendation one would be just to Google a little bit about pitch decks or presentations to investors, because I think you'll see some great examples of how to do that. And there's a lot of people here who have a lot of experience with pulling those things together, Keith. And recommendation number two is a little bit different. And recommendation two is to, if I were, let me put it this way, if I were in your shoes, and I'm mentioning this, as Roy said, from a place of encouragement, because I think what you're doing is great. I would encourage you to think about if there are ways, as opposed to consulting, fee for service, hourly rate, daily rate, etc., that you were able to shift that a little bit to once you helped, let's say I'm a client of yours and I come in and I say, okay, this is awesome. This is exactly what I want to do. I would then want to work with Dale to build a business model which included a piece of the revenue from this big, from this business. It's going to help Dale make money and have a livelihood, that there's a small piece of that that goes to you. And if you can build that into each business model, then every time you create a new client, you have a stream of income from it. So you're not relying on me to come back to you for more help, because once I figured it out and I'm moving on. What you really want to do is to create that pipeline. So every single time you have a new client, you're adding to your stream of revenue. And then an investor could see that potential to say, wow, so it's not just one business, it's not just Keith and people he hires, it's every single client, he's getting revenue from everyone.
That's incredible what you just said. Thank you so much. You warned me about the window and a lot of things before I got here, Dale. So what you just gave me right there, that was like, that's really, 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 really good. And I have the ability to do that. Everybody asks me and I be turning it down when I shouldn't. I should be saying yes to it.
And just real quick, and then I'll stop. The other thing that you'll hit into is how do you make sure that you get those funds, right? So whether it's monthly, quarterly, etc. And if there's a system, this is just another thought, if there's a system that you can build so that the payment from the insurance company goes through you and then to to the group home or to the client, it'll be even better because you take your percentage and then you take 5% or whatever it is, and then you send the 95%. So it's going through you as opposed to you needing to start collecting from people.
Wow. It ain't gonna happen that way, but it is a way. And as soon as you said it, I already know the way to do it. Through the bank. I can do it through the bank. It's easy. And I just was feeling like, because of who I am, I felt like, oh, I don't need to be, it felt like I would be greedy, but it's business. It's actually business. And like you said, they're gonna move on after they got it. And it's like, they always ask me, hey, can I be a partner? Can we do this? Everybody asks me that. And I feel like I'm giving too much of myself if I say yes to all these people. Then I'm giving too much of me. I need a team that can give what I'm able to give. And then I can say yes to every single person. Because if I say yes to you, I'm not going to shortcut you. You're going to get it all. So if I say that to 500 people, I need a staff that can handle that volume of people. Just saying, that know what to do, how to act. That's why I was talking about finances, building a team first. I already have the blueprint. I just need to build a team that can do those things that you just mentioned. And that's really, 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 really good. I thought I would be doing wrong if I did that to everyone, but they always ask me and I'd be like, oh, you just keep your own money. I'll just take this and build. But that's business and that's awesome advice. And I'm actually going to start on that today with the 3 clients that I do have. So thank you. I really appreciate that though. Thanks a million.
Sean, are you still with
do you have
us?
a question from earlier?
Yeah, hey John, thanks. So I appreciate Mr. Keefe. I appreciate your presentation, and I just have a couple of things I want to kind of lay on you just to further enhance what you're already and have embarked upon. All the advice that has been given has been spot on. And one thing I love about 1 Million Cups is the ability to not come to the table with a bunch of other entrepreneurs to necessarily pitch, but to, as we say, present so that we can sharpen your skills so that you know what to hone in on and make yourself better. But a few things I want to kind of just drop on you is that business is business. There's a framework for business, but don't lose sight of personal and professional growth as well. And because we get so inundated in business that we pour all our resources into business that sometimes we lose our personal development. And so I would highly recommend to seek out a coach that can help sharpen and heighten those skills that you already have so that as your business is growing, you're growing simultaneously. I would encourage reading different resources. And one nugget I'll drop on you is John Maxwell's 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. Phenomenal resource. And I would highly recommend to pick up a copy of that today. And as your business is growing, you'll be able to grow along with it. You'll see where, career is good and we put investment in career and strategizing and all of these different things. But then sometimes we lose ourselves and we can't pick up those little things that we need in order to make our presentations better or even to make our conversation. One thing about consultants, we always have to be clear and concise. We have to be clear and concise because there's millions of consultants, so we got to hone in our craft to make it worth, people coming to see us and to do what it is that we have perfected. So I want to encourage you to continue to do your business and to grow, but more importantly, inner growth. Everyone has growth areas. So I highly recommend seeking out a coach as well as, resources that will help you develop yourself as you're developing your business. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you. I don't even know where you people come from, but you guys are awesome. I never met people like this. This is awesome. Thank you, Sean. Thank you.
And I agree with everything Sean said. Entrepreneurship is a journey, and no matter how you choose to embark on this journey, there's a lot of opportunity to grow personally, professionally, even spiritually. I mean, it takes a lot out of everyone to be successful as an entrepreneur. So enjoy the journey and try to extract those components too, or focus on those components, the personal growth. And the other thing I'll leave you with, because we're running out of time, is, this goes back to what Dale was saying. You can either use an analogy or just change the model and the buzzword, because sometimes when you present to investors, you just have to make it immediately relatable. So, I mean, they have so many different things in their mind, businesses they've seen. So for example, use the word franchise, right? You could either say, I help you set up your own franchise. It's like a franchise, but it's not a franchise because you don't pay me residuals or whatever. I consult to teach you how to have your own business. So it's your own independent franchise that you keep all the money. That's one way. Or the other is you change the model and it's actually some type of franchise. Like, I'm going to help you, provide you support, infrastructure, advice, coaching. I provide you these things that a lot of franchises do, and I keep, I don't know, a certain percentage of the gross revenue or whatever. So just using the word franchise, whether you're using it as an analogy or you're actually selling a franchise model. So I would think about ways like that, because immediately people will compartmentalize, oh, this is similar to a franchise, and then they'll catch on to what you're doing faster.
Dr. Michael, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
This is free.
So one other thing, I'm just going to jump in real quick, Keith. So one of the other things that you'll want to think through a little bit, and by the way, there's a bunch of really good stuff going on in the chat window. Sid put up some stuff. John Brew put up some stuff. I included some things in there. And this is all recorded. So Ian, who's on here, will have the recording and so forth, and we'll post that. But one of the things, Keith, that will be really helpful as well, as you're thinking through exactly how you're going to get revenue in your door and how that scales up over time. Because each time you bring in an employee, you don't want to necessarily need every employee to be charging hourly, daily rates. You want to create, it's like a multiplier effect, right? So, and each time you have a client, you're getting more and more revenue, and that revenue would continue over the life of that business, the whole business, not just for the time that you're helping them, right? So, so with that in mind, and to echo Michael's comments, there are ways in which you could really think through how much support do I want to provide my clients as they're building these group homes and other healthcare providers. And maybe it is a franchise, but that's pretty tight, because then people are kind of plugging into your system, using your name, etc. And if your mission, and what I hear you saying is, when like if John's your client, you want John to have John's business, for John to do it his way, and and you're supporting John with what he's doing, which is great. But there's still ways that you can develop, we would call that revenue streams. You can still create revenue streams from John's business, and it can still be his. He can do it his way. He can have his name on it. It can be for his children down the road, but it still is helping you to help more people.
That's crazy. That's insane. I got a question to everyone. Like, why y'all, the things that you guys are saying to me, it doesn't cost me nothing. Why you guys do this? Why do you help people like me?
I think I can speak for myself. Everyone will have an answer, and I mean, if this were happy hour, we'd be here for 6 hours. But answering your question, I personally, being an entrepreneur, the analogy. Remember, I said sometimes use analogies to simplify things. I feel like entrepreneurs have this special bond, kind of like how veterans do, right? You've been in the trenches, you've seen the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations. So we're all connected by this journey, this experience, the success, the pains, the failures, all of that. So when we meet a fellow entrepreneur, we have flashbacks, right? Good and bad flashbacks into what we've experienced, what people we've known have experienced. And there's no competition. I mean, there's infinite number of problems to solve in the world through different products and services. So if we can help you and other people succeed, then the world's a better place. So I think that's one of a million different answers to the question.
Thank you. And thank all of you. And I'm loving this. I can be with you guys every day.
Keith, I highly encourage, I know that you're very busy, but I highly encourage, coming back in, pop in when you can. These are every Wednesday at the same time. And we even start as early as 8:40 to give people time to just kind of hop in and network.
Really?
So if there's stuff that you can hop in here and workshop, and stuff like that. The presenters usually start around 9. But you have time before that to, talk to anyone that kind of comes in early, and network and get some advice. And obviously a lot of times people will connect after the event. So if you want to share your contact information, in the chat as well, and people will often share theirs if they're open to being reached out to, then you can ask, advice and things like that. But I know, at least for a lot of us, I met my business partner, George, obviously. I met my business partner through 1 Million Cups. And then John Brew also helped introduce us. John Brew's on this call. And then we've gotten clients from here. And then we've just gotten really good mentors and free advice. So it's a really good community to take advantage of it. And it is free.
I will. Trust me.
So thank you again for everyone's contributions today. I'm going to share some announcements before we run out of time. Okay. Today at 1 p.m. and then Monday on the 19th, there are 2 events being presented by the Black Business Opportunity and Investment Study. The first one is the Office of Minority Business and Economic Development. That's going on today. And then the Richmond Black Restaurant Experience and BLK RVA. That's on Monday, the 19th. Lighthouse Labs, they support a lot of tech startups. They have an informational session from 12 to 1 on Thursday, April 8th. There's a virtual town hall sponsored by the Chamber RVA. It's an economic vitality and RVA talk, and that's Monday, April 12th from 12 to 1. And then SCORE, they have a session, How to Pivot Your Business Towards Recovery, Tuesday, April 13th from 6:30 to 8:30. Virtual Cocktails and Connections, Wednesday, April 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. put on by Network After Work. And that is our announcements for today. Thank everyone for attending, and we look forward to seeing you all and other fellow entrepreneurs next Wednesday. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you guys.
Thanks, everyone. Great job, Keith. That was awesome. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Del.
Yeah, hit me up anytime. You got my cell now.
I will. I'm a bug you.
Okay, that's cool.
Too good.
I think almost everyone on this call has my cell. People hit me up all the time. It's no problem.
Everyone did a great job. Every single last one of you guys gave me the best advice, and I'm so flexible. I'm a sponge, so it's okay. Give it to me. Give me all of it. I'm not rejecting none of it. I'm letting you guys in. I'm open. Wow. Thank every last one of you guys.
By the way, Keith, Sid, who's on the call, his whole expertise is helping people qualify for business loans. So he's a loan underwriter. He can give you anything you need to know about credit scores, cash, collateral, the whole 9 yards. Sid,
Sid.
see
Oh,
Sid
okay.
there?
So, did I see
Yep.
Sid?
Yeah,
Yep.
Sid's my man.
I didn't see
My
Sid.
email.
Hi, Sid.
Hi, Keith.
I'd like to share my contact with you if that's okay. And
Sure.
everyone else.
Yeah, sure. Sid just put his email in the window for you.
Okay.
And myself.
Hey, is that Kevin?
Yep, Kevin's here.
What's up,
Yeah,
Kevin?
How y'all doing? I'm getting ready to go do a service call.
Glad you can join us, Kevin.
You already know, man. Happy New Year. And you know, we just gonna have fun. My daughter graduated in May
Congratulations.
Awesome.
with an associate's.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we working on that bachelor next.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah. But y'all enjoy this summer now.
You too. Yo, we got Kev, we got the alumni forum coming up on Thursday next week. No, this week.
Tomorrow.
This week, tomorrow night. Yep, 6
Yeah.
o'clock.
All right, I'll be there. I'll holler at you guys, man.
All right, cool. All right,
have a good
guys,
one.
I'm gonna drop.
Okay.
I'll see you later. Thanks, everyone.
Bye,
Great
guys.
work.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good rest of the week. See you next Wednesday.
So everybody going?
Yep. Thanks again,
So
Keith.
next, I'll be here on time, guys. Thank you.